I'm Kateri.
I'm Rachel.
What's your name?
I like that name.
That's a nice name. Yeah, we've watched too many kids shows this weekend.
So today we have a short encouraging video on intercessory prayer.
Pray for your friends and enemies, yo.
Stay holy.
Bye!
Okay, maybe we have a couple more things to share.
I work with a boy who has autism from a Catholic family, and his mom said something that struck me the other day. She said, maybe someday he'll be a real big blessing to you. She said that sometimes he just chooses a seemingly random person and just starts praying intensely for them. On this side of heaven, we may never know the reasons behind these urges that he gets, but I definitely think his prayers for these people are a lot more powerful than we realize now.
What about you? Have you ever gotten the urge to pray for someone? Sometimes God will just place a specific person on your heart, and it's your mission and calling to pray for whatever they may be struggling with. Take these calls seriously.
Sometimes, if you realize that someone needs prayers, it will be heartening for them to know that you are praying for them. There have been a couple times in my life when I've experienced this firsthand. One morning a couple months ago, I got a random text from a friend from the Newman Center that just said, "Praying for you, smiley face." And she didn't really know how much I actually needed to hear that morning. Another time, I told a mom of one of my friends that I had a big test coming up that day, and she asked me, "What time?" I told her, and she said that she would be praying for me at that moment. Since that time, whenever someone tells me that they have an interview or a test coming up, I will specifically ask them what time it is, and then I will write it down so I don't forget it, and I will pray for them at that time.
Up until a few months ago, I struggled with a sickness that would cause me to spontaneously pass out and have seizures. And for about 2 years, there wasn't a single doctor who could figure out what was wrong with me. It was hard. This cross that I bore sometimes felt just too hard for me to carry. I was often depressed, and I would cry out to God in despair and tell him that I couldn't do this anymore and to just take it away from me. Amidst the seizures and the pain and the suffering that I went through, God was able to show me comfort in the prayers and the love that I received from people. I could be having the worst day where I'd had maybe 8 seizures in a row, and I'd be extremely uncomfortable and at the lowest point imaginable. And then he would send me someone to pick me up. People would call me up to check on me, or they would shoot me a Facebook message to say that I was in their prayers. And I even had strangers come up to me and tell me that they saw a blog post of mine or something, and that they were praying for me. A simple reminder that I'm not alone in this yuck seems small, but God knew that it was exactly what I needed. Through these people, it was as if God himself were saying to me, "I got you, sweetheart. I'm not leaving you here alone." It's a large part of what kept me going.
So, as Rachel's story shares with us, we're not alone in this faith life, and we are called to support others with our prayers.
There are some saints who made intercessory prayer a big thing in their lives. Saint Therese of Lisieux is actually the patron saint of missionaries, even though she never left the convent after age 15. Her prayers for others were just that powerful. There are stories of her praying for seminarians and for prisoners. Good stuff.
Saint Monica is another powerful example of praying for others. Many decades of her life were spent completely praying for her wayward son, who we now know as Saint Augustine. I know my mom spends a lot of time praying for us as well. Again, we will never know the power of any intercessory prayer on this side of heaven.
So this week, offer up rosaries and masses and holy hours for those people that God's put on your heart to pray for.
Let someone know that you're praying for them.
Look both ways when you cross the street.
And be holy. Bye.
Bye. And now, a message from our friend Paul, the seminarian.
Wait for it. He says, "Sometimes people you love go through times of agonizing suffering, and you wish you could do something, anything to help them. But there's nothing you can say, no activity you can do, no gift you can give that will make them feel better, and it's terrible. Well, you can always pray for them, and graces, even if unseen, will be bestowed."